Hello, guys. Good evening. So, just to have a quick check, so we still have people coming in. Good evening, everyone. First of all, before getting into the session, I would like to know if my voice is clear. So, shall I continue? Is my voice clear and audible? So, if you can acknowledge to these questions via chat, then I can proceed to the session. Great. So, yes, so we'll shortly get into the session. So, we have a few participants. So as you all know that, so every week we try to come up with a YouTube live session with an informative session with help of industry experts. So this week we have also kept a session in a similar intention. So this week we are going to see an interesting topic. Okay, rather, which is in worldwide, it is actually coming into existence, is what I can say. It is already there in place, but not much companies or not much people are used to it. So this session is specially designed, or this session is specifically for people who are lazy. So, yes. So, people who don't like programming, or people who don't like to code, people who are, good with their analytical skills, people who are good with the logical thinking. But they don't want to code, they don't want to program. But they have that analytical thinking where actually, they can bring out some logical sequences, which is really, really helpful for any programmer, or it is a prerequisite for any coder or a programmer. So I'll introduce the session. So before that, so welcome to Skill Safari's Weekend Live. So we'll start the session soon. So yes, so about Skill Safari. Um, so Skill Safari is an personalized online training company. We provide training on advanced technology courses. So you can just go into a website and check it out. So we don't stop with that. We also enable students with a lot of opportunities. So not only job opportunities, but also we bring students in and learn and earn community, where we provide a lot of opportunities like internships, freelance projects, various projects. So we are very happy that you have joined this community. So please do follow us continuously. So you will get constant updates on our social pages. So especially Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Now that you are in YouTube, I want every one of you to kindly subscribe to our channel, and pressing the notification button, or the bell button we say, will help you, because we keep on updating our YouTube sessions, and we also provide a lot of informative sessions for you, which will be really useful to you. And by the way, I am Naveen Chandran, so I'll be the one who would guide you for today's session. So I'm part of Skill Safari's family. So I'm really, really happy that you people have joined the session. So very soon we'll go to the session. Yes. So, what is the session we are talking about? What is the uh, you know live YouTube live which we are going to see today? That is nothing but no code app development. Okay. So, for a few people or few students, this particular terminology might be very new. Okay. Can an app be developed without any code? Yes, obviously it can be. So that is how this session is framed. This is going to be quite interesting. I want you to hang on with me so that you can see how an application can be made without any coding or programming. So it is more like building blocks. Okay. So um, can anyone tell me how this is possible? I gave you a clue also. So now you got to tell me how no code is possible, or how an application can be built without any code. How that is possible? I am trying to keep the session bit interactive. I want you to, you know, uh, communicate via chat. Okay, like WordPress. Yes. So very similar to WordPress, you can say, but even WordPress uses some sort of codes. But I say no codes. So yes, it's a good guess. Okay, so blocks is the clue which I gave. Hmm. Okay, so many of you giving close answers. Good to know. Okay, now no code, as the name itself says, the creation of application without any code. That is called no code app development. Okay, so there are two kind of code. No code is there, low code is there. So I would say the examples like WordPress would be low code. Okay. So why is there a distinction between no code and low code platforms? So we asked this question, the same as question, as it was not very clear to us either. So it is a marketing thing. It is some kind of uh, religion, and is there a major difference? So there are platforms with no code platform and low code platform. So no code implies that there is absolutely no programming involved. Okay, so you see a small picture towards your right of your screen, right? So that is nothing but Legos, isn't it? So these, you can compare this with an assembling standard Lego or Lego blocks to create an application or a mobile app. So like with these Legos, you are dependent on the available blocks. Okay, so you cannot imagine a Lego of your own imagination. So whatever is there, you need to use those Legos, or you need to use those blocks and create an application. So it is very similar. I'm just giving you this example to make you understand better. So with your own creativity to create something awesome, you use the Lego blocks which are available, and you make an application. But you are also limited to the available blocks. That is one point I wanted to make clear. So if the block provider do not do what you want, you can be stuck sometime. Okay, this is one small drawback of no code. Okay, there is I told thing called low code, right? So low code implies that there is still some programming involved. The way we see it is that these platforms provide you also with standard blocks, blocks, but with possibility to create new Lego blocks. So you can also create with your imaginary thing the blocks which you wanted. Okay, whereas in no code, um, you have available Lego blocks. Okay, you can just use them. You cannot create new Lego blocks. So low code gives you an possibility to create new blocks. So, and to determine what a programmable block like a Lego Mindstorm can do to yourself. So what is better, you ask? As with many things, it depends on what you want to do, and whether it fits with the app you want to create, and how much you can compromise if functionality does not exist yet. Okay, we can still create an application. So uses a visual development environment as told. Okay, uses methods such as drag and drop, spreadsheets, and selection of app components. So one main advantage is that you can shift IT or the development workload to business unit. So this whole the application, especially the front end, can be shifted to the business unit itself, and making the IT team for more productive and for more complex things. So this is where the actual no code app development fits in a company. Okay, so we discussed this, right? So low code, so platform that uses minimal hand coding. Okay, if at all hand coding is used, that will be also for blocks. Then you use the available blocks and hand coded blocks to create an app. Okay, there is one more definition I wanted to tell, that is called citizen developer. So these are users typically who build applications to facilitate business processes, while they'll also follow the proper guidelines of IT. So when I say guidelines of IT, so if they are following a proper channel, so so there is a lifetime of any software. Okay, so they need to follow with a proper guideline. Okay, so any development team or the IT team gets stuck with the development guidelines. Okay, so citizens development, can build applications with help of business processes with these IT team. So these kind of freelance developers are called citizen developers, who also use both no code as well as coding. Okay, so this is a era. I can say that this is an era where this no code revolution takes place. Okay, there are a lot of softwares application there are which you use in a day-to-day model, which don't use coding at all. So I have given some examples like Salesforce, Pipedrive, Trello, Airtable. These are some platforms which do not use no I mean coding at all. Okay, so some of these apps focus specifically on functions like sales teams. So that is how Salesforce is there, right? So the Salesforce team, when you go, and even if you uh, if you want the Salesforce to give you a tech support, the business team will come into your help. The IT team will not that easily come to your help, because business team, the business analytics team, I can say for better, they are the ones who give you the application based on your requirement. Okay, so whatever the application, no code software typically include four areas of focus. So that is what we are going to discuss. Okay, so provide drag and drop. So there will be widgets. Okay, um, or elements, we can say, that can be visually organized to build applications or configure as business processes. So there are a lot of filters, data queries, like your Excel. So you have a lot of formulation which you can do it on Excels, right? So especially components involving mathematics, computation. So these also can be figured out with help of no code blocks. Okay, so every block can be a function, which you call it in programming. So every function can be a block which you can just apply to any area, or the any drag and drop widgets where you try to fit. Okay, and third thing is APIs. So APIs are really important even for a programmer, isn't it? So usually APIs are really important for startups. So people use open source because licensed APIs will cost huge. So people usually go for open source APIs. So APIs are nothing but it is an interface, so programmable interface where a function in a bigger way. So I was earlier saying about function. API are nothing but a individual application itself, where you can fit it in a different program. For example, let's say you are developing a calendar application. Okay, so in this application you also wanted to show the time, the real time. Okay, let's say the world time you wanted to show in the calendar. So calendar and time has no connection, right? But it is somewhat related. So you are thinking that in the calendar application you will show the world time. Okay, so you need not program separately for showing the world time. So for showing the world time there would be already someone who would have developed a program for showing the world time. They would have just compressed it as an API. You just have to take that and fit it in your current calendar application and give the front end part to it. Okay, so when you give the front end part to it and connect it with the API and then the server and database, it will automatically function, and it will show you the world time. So this is a simple example I can give for APIs. So these APIs itself come as blocks. Okay, very interestingly, these APIs also come with blocks, and you can easily integrate data from various services and application. Okay, so this allows broad and appeal to non-technical users like me. Okay, so and you need not give or you need not depend on traditional developers for small things, or customizable things for client, because every client is not the same, every customer is not the same, every customer will have its own requirement. So the traditional developers, if they sit and if they work on various customization each and every time, let's say that you have around 1,000 clients and you have just 50 developers, and every developer has to work on with 20 clients. It is not an easy job. Okay, so it is a major frame movement for developers. So that is where these non-technical developers come into existence. So these non-technical developers, no one but like people like us who use applications day to day, who use Facebook, who use WhatsApp, who use CRMs like Salesforce, CRMs like HubSpot. So we know to use software, but we don't know to build one. We know what will come where, and what to connect, but we don't know to code. So people like us are nothing but non-technical users. So we come into the role of no code development. So the accessibility and speed of no-code solutions allow an increasing growth and productivity. So at the end of the day, it is more of business case. Okay, so it increases productivity and also efficiency. So as I told you that the business analytics team can completely focus on customer satisfaction, because they can customize their product accordingly with just no-code solution. So if you ask, is this a work for a BDM or a salesperson to do? No, I'm not talking about a salesperson. I'm talking about a business analytics. So, someone who would be called as a operations, manager, who would, connect a business team to the production team. So there will be a connector. So these connectors are called business analysts, and these analysts can be again a connecting bridge to the clients as well as the production department. Okay, so coding is not the main event anymore, because because even coding has the same criteria now, right? So if you want to develop an application now, in those days there was a time when you had let's say that someone wants to build a cloud application. You will have a front end team who will work on front end, who you will have a back end team, you will have a server team, you will have a database connectivity team. So you will have teams for all of these. So now the technology is so advanced, technology is so efficient, that we don't need teams anymore. We just need efficient people, because you have got frameworks for everything. You have got faster programming languages. So you have, efficient frameworks which has come into existence. So so a single person can develop an app very easily. So this has reduced a lot of cost. So in Skill Safari, we run such programs called full stack developers. So these programmers are nothing but full stack developers who can do front end, who can also do back end, okay, database server, and finally they also know to um, do the DevOps and maintenance. So all these roles together, okay, these people are called full stack developers. So like that, so it's still involved into such system. Even if someone cannot understand programming or coding, okay, but who knows to operate a computer, who knows to operate softwares, can become no code people. So we are thinking the future of coding is no coding at all. Okay, so this is the GitHub CEO quoted this thing long back, 2017 itself. So now, how to embed no code in an organization, okay, or how to what do you call, how to select a no code platform, okay. So there are several things to consider. So some are easy to access, some others are more difficult. So you require experience with the help of platform. Okay, so first, platform choosing is very important. The right platform. Okay, so whether it be on mobile application or web application or both. Okay, not all platforms have the same capabilities. There are platforms that are well suited for creating apps, but do not allow you to create web applications, and vice versa. So you can create web application but do not allow to create mobile apps. So if any platform provides you both the options, even there'll be limitations as well. So when you start with selection of your platform, this is one of the first things to determine. If you only want to create a web application or mobile application, then probably a focused platform might be more advantageous. Okay, so choose any one which will go for things. So otherwise, it is best to start with a broad platform if your application is small. Okay. Hmm. So for why I'm saying this is, for mobile apps, take special consideration to the mobile operating system supported, whether it is easy to publish to an app store, and if needed, that app can be used offline also. So there are a lot of options where you can use it. But for web application, you cannot go live without responsive functionality, isn't it? So you need responsive. So um, people who are here who has learned front end or HTML, CSS would know what is a responsive functionality. So when you go for web application, mm, web application has to work in all the things. Okay, not only in laptop. So laptop itself has different sizes, from 11-inch to there is 21-inch laptops, isn't it? So the screen will vary for everything, and you have desktop, you have big monitor. So this is responsive. So for every monitor size, the app should not shrink, or app should not it should be responsive to every size of the display. Okay, so as I was telling, so for a web application, you cannot go live without responsive functionality to make this application work well on all the types. So choosing a platform is really important. Next is functionality and roadmap. Okay, what do you mean by functionality and roadmap? Okay, after you have determined the type of an application or app you want to create with a platform. Let's say now the platform is finalized. Okay, you should look into the functionality provided. Okay, does it provide all the building blocks that you need to know or that you want in the app? Okay, and will those blocks will be useful for you in future? Okay, does it provide you with an intuitive model environment which will help you quickly develop and test your app? Okay, so you need to take answers for all of these questions. So not only this, if there is a functionality that you feel is missing, is there any other possibility that you can work on adding it? So if there is a roadmap, okay, does the provider deliver the right block? So like this, it is based on customers or the user's need, or it is based on the internal processes that is not transparent to you from the IT team. There are a lot of issues like this. So you need to completely know the functionality and the roadmap of the software in future also. So how the updations will happen. So if update, so is this the sole version you're going to release, or you're going to update every time? How is the customer's requirement? How IT team can support you? All these things. So getting up to speed is the third important thing which I wanted to talk about. So although no code platforms claim that you can create apps or applications in a shorter time, okay, some claim that you can create an application in minutes. Yes, I have created an application in no code in minutes. I'm just going to show you what I've created, and you also can work on it. So you should also look into how easy it is to gain more knowledge about all possibilities of the platform. So, for example, if is there a large and active community to which you can reach out for better updations or development? Okay, is the community facilitated well by the platform provided? So are there education resources available? So are these available on demand, or do you need to attend a class? So how expensive is to documentation, because every app needs documentation, right? So there are certain things like that. Okay, so next is integration. So for many application, you probably want to use one or more data sources on your application. So this requires that a platform has integration capability for inbound and outbound integration. So topics you should look into for support are like SOAP, REST, OData, the possibility to secure connecting from your application. So all these things you need to have a quick check. Okay. Next is infrastructure. For delivering your application, you need to have a possibility to test it first. Post completing, you also need to test it, right? So does the platform provide you with development, test, and product environments, preferably everything in cloud? Is it easy to deploy your application to different environments, so especially when you want to do frequent updates? Or do you want to set up all the infrastructures yourself? So all these things you need to think. For example, with deployment to standard cloud providers like AWS, Microsoft Azure, or Google, have platforms such as Docker. So you can use if you go for external providers. So for mobile app, it is also prudent to look at the ease of publishing an app. So it becomes difficult if you are publishing into an Apple app store, or let it be Google Play Store. So you need to check all the infrastructure things. So next important things is compliance and security. So though you are creating a no code application, you need to be compliant, and also your app should be secured enough. So um, because these incident can give you a backfire sometime. So the platform must be secure, and you have to be able to trust it. So look into what kind of security certifications and measure the platform providers they have to put place, especially when you use platforms for as your own infrastructure or interface. Okay, so for compliance reason, you may be restricted with respect to the storage location of the data. So if you are using your own infrastructure, so um, and now that you have completed an application with all these six things, or six parameters to create an final application. So problem does not stop there. Next is how it is going to affect the organization. So does a no code application, really is that easy to be implemented in a company? No, it is not. So before that, I want to talk about skills. Okay. So, what do you think, guys? What kind of skills do you need to become a no code developer? Can you tell me in chat what kind of skills, or do you need some skills at all? What kind of skills do you need? Okay, let's say, imagine you have 10 hours to get to your destination. Okay, so you can only make three stops before you get into your destination. So upon arrival, you realize that you have reached the destination in only 8 hours. On top of that, you only made two stops. This is fantastic result, and congratulations are due. However, you arrived in Paris while your destination was in Berlin. Are we still talking about success here? Okay. Yes, I did not tell you the destination initially, but right? You followed all the protocols correctly, but you reached the wrong destination. Okay, so we are not still talking about success here, right? So this is an analogy for the situation which many companies seem to revisit time and again. So by solely looking at the costs and processes, the actual objective is being forgotten. So furthermore, no time is spent validating if the project is actually delivered the intended business value. So the above scenario, which I just foretold, okay, is commonplace in IT application, and it also applies to development with no code platforms. So the big difference, however, with no code, the speed of the delivery is significantly increased. So it can go up to 5 to 10 times faster. Okay, with help of no code application, with respect to general coding application. So the difference is crucial, and it has more positive potential impact that one might think. Okay. So the more people, let's say that there are more people added in a project, the more coordination and communication is needed. So subsequently, the project increases its risk for situations for the application to be finished under time. So if no code platforms were there, just about increasing speed of delivery, no code platforms allows less people to be involved. Okay, so the communication, discussion, everything can be cut down. Okay, coming to the management side of questions. Okay, what how to embed no code in any company. Okay, so despite the significant benefits of no code platforms, Everyone, so everyone almost, because this is a very new trend which is coming into existence. So this is still not a, I cannot say it as a trend, because it is still very very subtly coming up among the companies. Okay, so we have, everyone has experienced the struggles the company might face, in embracing any new technology. So management needs to be convinced, the first point. Okay, so no code platform transition the IT cost structure, okay, from capital. So every company has some amount fixed as capital. Okay, so in simple terms, a company no longer pays for having and maintaining an IT department and IT infrastructure, but pay is for use of IT. So the more you use, more you pay. I'm talking about the platform. So more you use the platform, you pay more. So, but comparatively, it is less of having an dedicated IT team, doing the same stuff again and again. So company needs to be convinced. So this time, company is nothing but the IT department, which if I have to say very specifically. So we have seen, a lot of people have seen, oppositions. So there is a severe opposition from IT people who are, like programming geeks, I can say. So some people see no code platform as a threat. Okay, so anyway, the belief is contrary. No code platforms are the greater opportunity for IT people, but it needs to be positioned and embraced as such by everyone, not only by company but also by the IT team. Okay, so an effective way to cope up with uh, no code platform is to implement it non-invasively. So both the departments should work independently. So that means create an application that arguments the current application portfolio. So in this way, it benefits no code application, which can be shown without needing to compare it with the existing IT team or the IT software team. So next is no code practitioner is a new job function. It is completely new everywhere. So thus answering someone's question. So someone has asked me, can we work as a freelancer with no code? So yes, I'll come to that part. So this answers your question actually. So no code practitioner is a complete new job function. So even if you try convince someone that you can build a software and give them, if you even work as a freelancer, it is going to be very new. But so they'll not be, clients will not be very easily embracing this particular thing. Okay, so although programming is no longer needed, that doesn't mean that something that can be done on the side. No code practitioners should get a proper training, have lengthy experience, and be able to dedicate themselves to no code. So no code, so programmers should not take up no code activities. That is what I'm trying to say. So no code person should be a person who don't know code. So we have seen a lot of introduction of no code platforms which fails for this very reason. So a lot of people have seen instances where traditional programmers receive only introduction training in no code. Subsequently they fail to realize the project because they try to implement no code in the traditional way. So it is a complete different era. No code is a complete different era. You cannot bring in a traditional programmer or coder to make him understand, because it will be like curse of knowledge to a programmer. Okay, so programmer is someone who can be better in building blocks for no code platform, isn't it? Okay. Uh, so this is one area where no code consultants or the no code um, you know practitioner should be fresh and should be fresh with to take up new things. Okay, can the business cope up with its speed? So this might come as a surprise. Many people have negative experiences where the IT development lagged. Everyone have the same problem. Every company has the same problem. Okay, IT team lags, deadlines being missed, businesses being closed like this. So in contrast, no code development can be 5 to 10 times faster, as I said earlier, and this puts the ball back into the court of business. So we experience sometime no code applications are being delayed because the business or the process owner needs to make a decision. So decision is a area where it might be less efficient. Apart from that, this is an excellent way to finish any application within the time. So fitting into the existing application landscape. So we identified two typical approaches of integrating no code into the existing architecture. The first one is standalone, without any integration with other system. So this is particularly useful for in case of greenfield business development or prototype business, I can say. So which does not involve actual business. So other approach is to develop a clear strategy for roles and implementation of the no code platform. Okay, so this is where you can fit the existing application landscape. Okay, so this has given you an ample of insights. So these are some few no code and low code platforms. You can just note down these might be useful. You can use it. Some of them have trial periods, some of no, none of these are free, but you can use it, you can learn from it. So this is just an introduction to no code. So I can only recommend you do your homework, and most importantly, since no code is a journey, take the first step and experience it. So no code revolution is only just commencing. It is just on the way. Just as with any new business development, speed is the key. So it will definitely bring in a revolution. That's why speak about no code will be a revolution. So I hope you have noted down. Okay, so till now, I've introduced you to no code. Okay, so both no code and low code platforms can help organization rapidly deploy new capabilities without the same overhead that typically custom software development project requires. So no code revolution is real, and it will be part of evolving landscape for solving business problems. So expect the hear the term building software more in the future. So these are very unique topics which is discussed right now, which will be discussed more in future. So take baby steps and start learning about it. So now that we are almost end of the session, I'm going to show you a small project where you can design. Okay, I worked with a small application. So you can also try work, because even I have started with no code. So you can see this how this works. So this is nothing but AppyPie. So AppyPie is also a platform where you can build small applications. Okay, no code application which will have blocks. So when I say blocks, these are blocks. So the letters are very small here. Now I guess you can clearly see. Okay, so in AppyPie you will have lot of you know I can show you some of the application which AppyPie have. So you can just go and log in. So you can create some easy mobile application, some websites. You can create some task automation, chatbots. So some small graphics, live chat. So this is a good platform to you know start off. So it is an app builder, website builder. designer. So you just start it off. So you have some integration app also. So if you're really serious about taking this no code forward, this platform is very good. Okay, so now coming back to our live chatbot. So I've just given the live chatbot's name as Skill Safari, where you can see. So here you can see it shows you, hi, I'm Skill Safari bot, a friendly bot, and I am here to assist you. This is the output page where you give the exact same welcome message here. Okay, and if you see, these are blocks where it works like a sweet flowchart. Okay, first, as a bot, what you're going to do, you're going to send a welcome message. Hi, I am Skill Safari, a friendly robot, and I'm here to assist you. You can see here. Okay, so next is the message which a bot should say. So how are you doing today? As it has asked, how are you doing today? Okay, so then let's say that you want to get the client's name. Okay, so here you have the output preview. So can I get your name? So that is the last which my bot is asked. So let me type in. So I am typing in Naveen. So it has recognized the name. Great, thanks for the name. Okay, so once it gets the name, so you're going to ask my email ID. So you write some, comment. So please tell me your email ID so that we can stay in touch even in future. So same thing, this would have told you. Let's say I am going to give them my email ID, Naveen@Skill Safari. This is the actual email address of mine. If you want to get in touch with me for any queries, you can do it. Okay, so it has, very convincingly greeted. So thanks for the email ID. Now we don't have to worry about getting disconnected. Now it is asking for my contact number. Okay, so get phone number is the query. So everything you can just, so I have not showed you. So you just have to click the setting, and you just have to type in the message here. You can change it however you want. So preview will be always here. So if you want to see how it works in mobile, there is a mobile changing option also. Now you give a conditional type question. So you need to check if your agent is online. Only when the agent is online, he would, you know, um, be able to chat with the customer live, right? So if your agent is offline, you create. So you check a conditional statement here. So you give a condition. So you can just click add and plus and add conditions. So or any other, even if you want to enter some more information, or if you want to give some comments, so you can just press on plus and do it. So condition type, check the agent status. So agent status, if it's online, this will be the question. So great, before I transfer to your agent, please share your query. So after that, you just share it with the concerned, team who will handle the queries. If they have contacted you in wrong time, then there is no agent online. So you give a hands off call. When you give hands off call, you're going to disconnect. Okay. Probably you cannot disconnect abruptly in a chatbot. So what you do is you give them the email. Okay. So once this is done, so once the chat everything goes, then again the condition comes to here. Then you give a small survey. Okay, then end message. Great, thanks for the information. Thanks for the information. So this is a small chatbot which I tried building. Okay. So you can also try from your end. So not only this, you can also try their mobile application, website, task automation. They give you some three applications for free. So yes, guys. So this is it for the session. So hope this was really new and informative to you. So yes, wait for the no code revolution. It is going to come. Okay. So till then, you please work on the platform and tell me if you have built some interesting projects. Okay. So you can email to Naveen at the rate skillsafari.in. Okay, so thank you for hanging around. So if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. So it was fun having you here. Thanks, guys. Everyone, have a good evening.